Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Brian Engelman, and this is the Unhappy Hour. We are on Facebook, we are on VidMe and YouTube. Um, let's see, where are the best places? We just started a brand new Instagram account, instagram.com/TheUnhappyHour. The Unhappy Hour. It's brand new. Sign up. It's just going to be all sports. Because if you go on our regular Instagram.com/TheNewAmericanMedia, you're going to get politics. I think it's the best kind of politics. I think we illuminate situations and break it down to wonderful memes and get people thinking and try to destroy horrible narratives. Hello to Ed Wilson. And if anybody else is going to listen to the show live, type some comments. We're going to split this up into a couple different shows here. We're going to talk about the Indians, talk about the Cavs, talk about the Browns. I plan on doing a full show with Brandon Odell. We usually do a Cleveland Browns season preview show. We're going to try to shoot for, I don't know, maybe 7:30 this evening. What's up, Ed? So I'm taking comments over here, over that way, and doing the show this way. So, on to it. We're going to try to do that Brown show this evening. For now, I just kind of wanted to kind of get into what is going on with the Cleveland Browns. The biggest story over the past couple of days, obviously, is that DeShone Kizer, quarterback out of Notre Dame, has been selected as the Cleveland Browns starter for the 2017 season. Maybe it's by default because maybe Hogan and Cody Kessler and Brock Osweiler haven't impressed. Maybe that's the case. Fine. But DeShone Kizer, for many people, he was rated as the best quarterback prospect prior to the beginning of the last season. There were injuries to the team. There were coaching issues. It was just lack of continuity. Kizer didn't have a great season, all things considered, and he slipped to the Browns at number 2. That allowed us to get Peppers. That allowed us to get Myles Garrett. It helped us improve in other areas instead of overdrafting for Mitch Trubisky, which is very good, which is fantastic in all seriousness. It couldn't have gone much better because as I was watching the game, I mean the kid's the kid's a player. He's got a cannon for an arm. I mean, he can make 30, 50-yard passes with ease. He's the first Browns quarterback that's been able to sling it in a very long time. No noodle-armed quarterback is going to make it in the AFC North. They're just not going to. And it's nice to see. There were a couple drop passes that kind of stalled some drives for Kizer. He's playing in the rain in Tampa Bay. But all things considered, he still looked good. He still made some great plays on third down to extend drives. It's great. I think he is going to be a welcome change for the Browns. So prayers for health, long-term health, offensive line protection, and a long, successful career. I really think, and I'm the eternal Browns optimist. I'm kind of a pessimist in life where I prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Maybe that's the Boy Scout in me. You got to have your bug out bag ready. You got to have a plan if you got to evacuate in 10 minutes time. All of these things. But all you got to do is look down to Houston to see why you should have a backup plan in place, why you should have an emergency plan in place. So in life, I wouldn't say a pessimist. It's just kind of prepare for the worst, hope for the best kind of guy. But with the Browns, I'm ridiculous. I always expect perfection. I always expect dominance. I always expect competition and well-coached players and hungry players that are hustling and leaving it all out on the field. And let's just be honest, for the past 19 years, we haven't seen that. 18 years, whatever it was, since 1999. The Browns, this is the 27th starting quarterback that we've had since 1999. That's kind of incredible. So please, can we just get a franchise quarterback already? Can Kizer be the one? And I need, from all you guys, I need some Kizer Soze memes. Put the New American Media on there somewhere and give me some Kizer Soze memes. We want to share that. By the way, if you're going to the Browns game, we're going to be having a live event for the Unhappy Hour. We're going to be at the Muni lot, tailgating beforehand. We're going to be giving out prizes, doing trivia, having a good time. So really, if you're going, you got to let me know. Okay, let me do this. I'm going to run through here. Excuse me. Go to some comments. Hello, Brian. Hello, Adam. Yeah, he has. Yeah, revolving door quarterback, Ed. It's been kind of ridiculous for a while. But here's the big point I want to bring up, and this is why. I didn't need to see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game to know that DeShone Kizer was a starter. I saw it in the first preseason game. The kid made two 50-yard touchdown passes. I know one technically was downed at the 1 yard line, but that's a 50-yard bomb for a touchdown. He did it twice. Once on fourth down, trailing at the end of the fourth quarter to win the game. I mean, that's ice in your veins. I saw everything I needed to see in the first preseason game from DeShone Kizer to know he's the one. But here's the thing. You need to get him in there and see his progression from week 1 to week 16 and hopefully into the playoffs. What I was getting at earlier, I'm kind of circling around on my point, was I'm a prepared for the worst, hope for the best kind of guy in life. But with the Browns, I kind of expect the best. I really think we have a chance to win the division. I expect us to win the division. I know I jokingly say we're going to go undefeated and win the Super Bowl every season, and I'll still say that. We're going to go undefeated and win the Super Bowl. I know it's ridiculous, but hey, if you can't have fun with the team that you're rooting for, why even watching? That's the best part of it. Getting your dreams dashed. But my point is, you need to see the progression from DeShone Kizer from week 1 to week 16. There are a lot of good quarterbacks coming out of the draft next year. A lot. And we need to know, are we set at that position or do we need to draft again? We took Kessler in the third, and we got Kizer in the second. Do we pony up and get somebody in the first next year? Is he not the answer? If not, do we go after Sam Darnold? We have extra draft picks to trade. It's kind of like the Celtics, and I'm going to talk about the Celtics in a second, and the Kyrie Irving trade that might be going in reverse. We'll talk about that in a moment, but we got to find out who Kizer is. Oh, don't put him in there. You're going to ruin him. You're going to destroy him. Good luck, kid. You're going to end up on the IR. Stop it. It's an NFL player. He's an NFL quarterback. He is. And our offensive line was upgraded over the offseason. And we still have Joe Thomas. Like, stop. We have 2 running backs that are competent, that are capable. Corey Coleman in a second year. Hopefully he's not going to break his hand again. We got Kenny Britt and a veteran presence over there. Although we dropped that one to make Kizer look bad against the Buccaneers in the preseason game. But, I want to see what Njoku has. That's a big boy. Young, but a talented kid. I mean, we got rid of a very good tight end to swap him out. Gary Barnidge. He was the heart and soul of this team, and then he's gone. Well, we got a young, super athletic, super huge human. And, if there was a play I was watching, I think it was the Buccaneers game. I mean, missed him by that much on a pass. Njoku had his man beat by 4 yards, and he was gunning it. He was running downfield. That could have been a touchdown. There's a couple little things. You sync that up, and this could be a high-octane offense. When's the last time you could say that about the Cleveland Browns? Maybe back to Webster Slaughter, Brian Brennan, Ozzie Newsome. Those days? Maybe. Kevin Mack, Ernest Biner. I don't know. Maybe a little bit with Derek Anderson in 2007. Maybe a little bit with Vinny Testaverde. Not a lot of offense. But the one good thing, you got to say, that defense is looking killer. That defense is looking great. And if they play that way, we're going to be in every game. Every game. All you got to get is some competent play out of your quarterback in that offense, and we got a shot at this division. I don't think the Bengals are that strong at all. I don't think the Ravens are that strong, and I don't think the Steelers are. I think Le'Veon Bell holding out the whole camp, and Roethlisberger continuing to talk every offseason about wanting to retire while he still has a brain left. I think these things leave the AFC North wide open. Why not? There's how many seasons do you see a worst to first situation in pro sports? Why couldn't it be the Browns this year? I think we've done a lot through the draft and through the offseason free agency. And let's not forget, I'm never going to give this up. Never gonna give you up. Did you see that Rick Astley came out and performed Never Gonna Give You Up with Foo Fighters? It was awesome. Go on YouTube and find that. It was pretty cool. But I'm never going to give up hope that we're going to get Josh Gordon back. Some reports from 12up.com. Obviously, that's the most tabloidy sports thing out there. And I say that in a world where TMZ Sports actually breaks legit stories, so go figure. We got communists and Nazis fighting in the streets. If you couldn't think that this world is getting any stranger. TMZ is a reputable source these days. But anyway, the most tabloidy page that we mock on the Unhappy Hour. By the way, if you're not in the Unhappy Hour group, you need to do a search. It's a private group because we're trying to keep it tight. We really want the right kind of people in there. We don't want to unleash the floodgates and bring out too many Steeler fans in. But just do a search for the Unhappy Hour Sports Show, and that can be found in Facebook. It's a wonderful group. But I have hope that Josh Gordon is going to come back. It was on 12up.com, and he was talking about he's eyeing his return in September. And I know a lot of the comments were like, yeah, that's like saying I have a slingshot and I'm aiming at the moon. That doesn't mean it's going to hit. So we'll see how it plays out. But I mean, seriously, Josh Gordon passed his drug test, and then the other one was like 0.01 above the threshold. So one test passed, one didn't because of a technicality. He was suspended. Then he wrote out that suspension, and then he got suspended for having a beer on an airplane in the off season. I'm sorry, that's the stupidest thing in the world. Weed is not performance enhancing. It's not a steroid. Alcohol, if anything, that harms you. And he had a beer on a plane. So what? It's Goodell. Stop it. Just reinstate Josh Gordon. He's a dumb kid. You can expect dumb kids to continue doing dumb things, fine. But how long are you going to prohibit this guy from the opportunity to earn a living? And you're telling me that this offense wouldn't instantly improve at the Cleveland Browns if you brought him back? Absolutely it would. Because we finally have a quarterback that can air it out. And this isn't like lean back and just heave stuff like Johnny Manziel closing his eyes and seeing where it comes down. Kizer's he's got some aim. He's got some. He definitely could put the ball where it's supposed to go, and I can't say that about too many former Browns quarterbacks over the years. 27 of them since 1999. So anyway, let me see what other comments we got here. I want to address this because I want to move on to the Cavs. I want to move on to the Indians a little bit. Let's see. Adam Reese, what's up, man? Saying coaching at Notre Dame was not very good. Kizer is a strong prospect. Yes, indeed. On both points. What's up, Danielle? What's up, James? James, you got to tell me, how do I say your last name? Sizzlewitz? That's how I always say it in my head. I don't know. Can you spell it out phonetically for me? Just a few. Let's see, Brian saying it's nice to see a QB finally look the part. He can make the throws. He can run when needed. Looks poised for a rookie and actually the first starting quarterback that can see over our offensive line in a while. Yeah, you put a guy that's 5'9", 5'10", 5'11" back there, and you got 6'2", 6'3", 6'4" linemen. Well, the interesting part about that is, Brock Osweiler's, what is he, 6'8"? And I was watching him getting his passes deflected, knocked down at the line of scrimmage, going, well, I guess size doesn't determine that either. And Drew Brees, he's had a successful career. But I know what you're saying. This guy does look the part. The throwing motion is easy. The one thing about running, you did mention that, about how he can move around in the pocket. He can, do that type of thing. Run when needed is one thing. I'll take that. But I don't want to see this guy. I know he's 6'4". What is he, 6'4", 220 or something? He's on the bigger side, but I don't want to see him taking too many hits. He's not a running back. You got Tim Tebow and Colin Kaepernick, both 30-year-old running quarterbacks that are not in the league right now. Let your running backs take the hits. That's what they're there for. Don't burn out your quarterback with that. You don't see Tom Brady doing it very much, so I wouldn't recommend that other people do either. What's up, Paul? How are you doing, buddy? Thanks for joining us. Let's see, more comments here. Adam saying, I love having my hopes and dreams crushed every year. Oh, yeah, that's a tradition here, around here in Cleveland. It's one of the best parts about rooting for sports. No, one of these years it's going to turn around. I think this is the year, but I always think it's this year, so I digress. Adam is saying, Bengals offense is very strong. The defense is suspect. Burfict is facing a 5-game suspension. Yeah, you know what? I mean, Burfict. If you're out there targeting people, trying to intentionally injure people. Now, I know our defensive coordinator, Greg Williams, was busted for that Bounty Gate thing down with the New Orleans Saints. I get that, and I don't want to see the team go in that route. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see dirty play. But Burfict is going over and over and over and over, proving who he is. We could go to the Giants game with the Browns and watch when our defensive back, kind of made a very low tackle on Odell Beckham Jr. and he got, he left the field, went down to the trainer's room behind the scenes, and he collapsed and was down there on the concrete, and that was a sad sight. That was not so good to see. I really don't like seeing injuries at all, especially if they're intentional. But look, with wide receivers, you got to admit, with all the flags that are being thrown for aiming at the head, what's left? You either go high or you go low. Now, I guess when I played, I always went toward the middle. Call me crazy, but I was just wrapped up around the waist and brought people down. I really wouldn't go head hunting too much. I know I did have to jump on a guy's head one time, buried his face mask into my chest and toppled him because I had him in the grasp on a previous play, and he spun out of it and threw it away. It should have been intentional grounding or a sack. The refs let him get away with it. I talked it over with my other defensive end, and he said, yeah, just jump on his head next time. And so I did. I just jumped onto his head, put his helmet right here, and just sacked him. It was pretty incredible. But, you have to expect that. If you're going to be having a lot of those penalty flags thrown for that type of thing, you're definitely going to see people going low, and you're going to have more leg injuries, more knee injuries. I don't like that at all. I like wrapping up around the waist. I like seeing that kind of football. But yeah, Burfict is facing some suspensions. Whatever. Cincinnati Bengals. Edward, what's Edward? No trolls, even though I'm a Broncos fan. Well, whatever. What's up, Jennifer? Shout out to Jen and her. They had a Mayweather McGregor party over the weekend, and her spicy chicken nacho dip definitely burned the roof of my mouth. So thank you for that. I guess I ate it too quick, but hi Jen, hi Ian. Ian, what's up, dude? Haven't talked to you in a heartbeat. Amber, howdy. Yeah, Amber's helping out, making some necklaces and bracelets and footballs and stuff for the Unhappy Hour to give out at the Muni lot at the Browns home opener. So make sure you hit us up and let you know that you're going to be there. So I'm going to press pause for just a second. Stay live over here because I'm going to switch it to which one? Let's go to Cavaliers, and then we're going to wrap it up with the Indians. Let me do this. Okay, so pause here. I'm going to stop this feed so we can post